Hello, YouTubers. This is Eric out in cloudy, cold Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm doing an unusual day video. I've been home with my daughter, the youngest, who unfortunately has severe uncontrolled asthma. And she's allergic to the most common asthma control medication. So when her asthma kicks in, it's pretty much all hands on deck at home to take care of her. And it usually takes anywhere from about a week and a half to 2 weeks to get it under control. And so I'm home for that time period. And then if we can't get it under control, then of course she's in the hospital. But I actually got a little break today, so I was like, yay! So my housekeeping is I am smoking some 2015 Sutliff Voodoo Queen. Enjoying that. In one of my early attempts at corncob modifications. Thought the bowl came out quite nicely. And I took the shank out of the inside of the bowl, raised the bottom, pipe mud, works great. So, and it would stay lit if I wasn't talking, but that's how that works. Let's see what else is going on. I finally got to switch to a butane lighter. I got myself an insert for my Zippo. It was like 14, 15 bucks. I'm quite happy with it. It makes controlling the light much easier because you're not having to inhale at the same time to bring the flame in. It just comes out that way. And you can control it better. And you don't have the flavor of the Zippo lighter fluid. So I'm quite happy with it. See? Flame just comes right out the bottom. So I know there are people who use Zippos for years and they're fine with it. And I've been fine with mine for years, but figured I'd try butane after all this time, and I like it. It works quite well. It's easier to light and it's more controllable. And like I said, you don't get that little bit of flavor. And I honestly didn't realize there was a flavor until I tried the butane. So it's one of those things where you don't know what you don't know. So I'm getting to take my little break now. Thought I'd share a few things. You know, I know what kind of tobaccos I like. I tend to like pretty much every kind of tobacco. I think there's only been one blend that I hated. And that was one of the C&D small batches that had Italian florets in it. And it literally made me want to gag. Other than that, I pretty much always like all blends. But my tastes tend to be very rough. You know, I'm not good at identifying subtle flavors and stuff. And on my pipe forum, there's a guy with a handle of Jimmy Inks, or Jim Inks, and he does a lot of reviews, and he's one of those that has really refined tastes, as in he can get the subtlest flavors. And don't know the guy at all, other than on the forum. And I happened to have one of his reviews up on the screen one day when I was out here smoking for the blend I was smoking. And it was one of the blends I liked in general already, so no big deal. But throughout my smoke, I was occasionally glancing at the review and found myself searching for some of the things he talked about. And having his review up there and reading it several times throughout my bowl, I started to get or be able to sort of identify a few of the things he was talking about in those flavors. And I thought it was pretty cool. Because on my own, I just don't get that kind of stuff. And so I've tried it several times since then, where I'll happen, I've got a blend of one of the ones he's done a review on, and I pull it up, and I'm not particularly paying attention to it, but I'll kind of glance at it while I'm reading my book or enjoying my pipe, and I'll start to get little bits of what he's talking about and little flavors, and it's kind of nice to do that. Like I said, I've always been kind of the big hammer, yes, I like it, no, I don't, kind of thing. And I don't do it all the time, just on occasion. There are times when I'm just out here, I want to read my book, watch my show, enjoy my pipe, that's it. But other times, it's just nice to finally be able to place names to little bits of what I'm getting that I could never identify enough to know before. And I found that by having these reviews up, I can get that. So I just thought that was pretty cool, and I'd share that. So let's see what else is going on. I've started working on making some tampers. This is my first sort of useful completed tamper. It's a 44 Magnum shell with some birch wood shaped and stuff. I'm leaving this one alone because it was kind of one of my first, but my subsequent ones that I'm kind of working on now have more of a pointed end in a way, so that you can do your tamping, and then you can turn the other side around and move your tobacco around a bit, which you can't really do with this. So there's that. And then I'm still really having a lot of fun playing around with corn cobs. Still restoring my briars, but still really enjoying the cobs. Now, this is my first where I combined everything I've learned so far. Very happy with it. It is a Missouri Meerschaum Mark Twain. I changed out the stem for one of their black ones, sanded it, stained it, took the shank out of the inside of the bowl, raised the bottom just a little bit with some pipe mud. So it's just a really pretty pipe, and it smokes really well. So I'm quite happy with it. On there. And then the next one I'm going to start on is a Missouri Meerschaum General. This one's going to be a little bit more interesting. Not interesting, but different work level because the bowl is deeper. So once I get the shank out, shave it, put it back together, getting in the pipe mud all the way down there and raising it to the appropriate level with the draft passage is going to be a little bit tricky because you got to get the pipe mud all the way down there and then smooth it out and get it shaped. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'm really hoping this one will come out pretty well too. I think I'm going to try a little bit of a different, I think I'm going to try a contrast stain on this one, where I think I'm going to do maybe like a black stain to start with, then sand it back, then put a lighter stain on top of that. So maybe I'll do the black and then do a brown on top of it and just see how that turns out. So I think that's going to be very cool. Only problem I'm going to end up with is I'm going to end up having more cobs than I can smoke, but they're pretty and I enjoy it. So there we go. Still somewhat adapting to the butane. But like I said, I do like it. It's got just better control none of the taste on there, so kind of think I'm a convert on that. Of course, the trick is I have an entire container, a large one of the Zippo Premium Fluid that I still need to use up. I'll find something for that. So, that's about everything. Gonna finish up this bowl, check on my daughter. I think she's watching some cartoon called Top Wing. Then I have to arrange to run out real quick and pick up my son from school, get him home, get some dinner started. I'm really hoping, because we just gave her another, she's on her 3rd dose of steroids, that we can get her back to school Thursday. Don't think it'll be tomorrow, but I'm thinking Thursday. So keep my fingers crossed. All right, so, well, thank you all for enjoying a pipe with me out there, and happy smoking to all of you.